Hey up everybody, and welcome back to the Aldo Cycling YouTube channel, where today we're going to be taking a look at the VELOGAME 2025. The competition was released earlier today, and similar to the Giro d'Italia, I'm going to be doing a reaction to the rider prices. I haven't seen any of the rider prices, so this is going to be a complete surprise for me, and it's just going to be pretty much a live reaction to see what I'm initially thinking off the top of my head in terms of the rider prices. First things first, the star list isn't complete at the moment, so there will be subsequent videos for you all to come and watch, where I'm going to be analysing the rider list and giving recommendations. So be sure to stick around, subscribe if you're not already, if you want to come back and watch those. And yeah, so obviously the full star list isn't released, so therefore this isn't a comprehensive overview of all the prices, because more will be released as more and more riders get announced. But I guess let's go take a look. I guess to begin with, before I take a look at the prices, let's take some guesses, shall we? I think Poggy will be like 32. Jonas maybe like 26, 28. Remco 22-ish. Roglic maybe like 16, 18. Almeida probably like 16 credits. I think the sprinters is going to be an interesting one. There aren't that many sprint stages, but I'm seeing, probably Wout's going to be, he's usually like 16 credits. Maybe he might go down to 14, I suppose, after the Giro, where he was good, but probably didn't live up to his price expectation. I expect to see Milan, Philipsen to all be either 14 or 12 credits. I think Van der Poel will be an unclassified 10 credit rider. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's go take a look at the rider prices. So, oh wow, okay. So, damn, okay. So Poggy is 32 credits, so we got that one right. Jonas is 24, Remco 18. So Remco's the same price as last year. Almeida 16, so I got that one right. Roglic is 14. That's probably the lowest we've seen Roglic for a long time. Jorgensen's 12. I think that's the same price as last year. Lipovic's 12 after a very good Dauphiné. Makes sense. We got quite a lot of all-rounders, unlike the Giro, where we had quite a limited number. Tobias Haaland, Johannesson. Adam Yates is 10 credits. Could be a good pickup there. Rensman, G, Vlasov, all interesting picks. Vlasov was a climber last year. De Plus, Dunbar, Van Aertveld, Van Wilder, Vauquelins in the all-rounder. That makes sense. I did think he might be an 8 credit unclassified, but yeah, it kind of makes us choose a little bit more, gives us a cheaper option. Van Aertveld's certainly interesting. But overall, I think Poggy, George is making it trickier. I think he was 28 credits last year. So George is making us really choose our credits a bit more. It's going to be hard to put Poggy and Jonas on the same team, because that's 56 credits gone already in just 2 riders. But will they make up sort of more than half of your points? They might well do. So it might still be worthwhile going with both of them. Or you could go with Remco if you think he's going to be 3rd place. Maybe he's slightly better value than Vingegaard is. But anyway, let's go on to the climbers. Carapaz is 12. So the maximum price climber is quite low. I mean, compared to, say, the Giro, where we saw maybe like 16 credit climbers. Carapaz, Skellens, Jensen, Yates. Simon Yates is back at the same price as he was for the Giro, but obviously I think he'll be a domestique this time round. Gal could be quite good. He was good in Tour de Suisse. So 10 credits. Could Gal get over 1,000 points? Probably. Lenny Martinez, Mas, Rodriguez. Boitrago was 8 credits last year, and he was a good pick. So that's certainly worthwhile thinking about. Only, quite a cool one. I think actually Alaphilippe at 6 credits. That's a good pickup, I think. Because you don't have loads of... I mean, you do have GC riders here, but I think if you're going with Poggy and Jonas, you're going to be looking to save credits somewhere. And I think that Alaphilippe was very good in Tour de Suisse. With lots of punchy stages in that first week, I think Alaphilippe could be a really, really good pickup. Maybe even Champoussin. Guillaume Martin is usually quite a good pick for on the borders of the top 10. Healy for breakaways, but there aren't that many breakaways, so maybe not. APP, VPP, Mike Woods, 2 guys from UAE. Just for the assist points. I think I looked at the assist points of UAE riders last year who literally did nothing except get assist points, and they got something like 300 to 350-ish assist points. So I do like Alaphilippe. I like Guillaume Martin if he can do a decent GC performance. There are lots of mountainous stages later on. Maybe APP as well. Sprinters. So the sprinters are pretty cheap, which is, where the heck is Wout van Aert? Where is George? George was to put Wout van Aert be unclassified. Oh my word, okay. So the sprinters are cheaper, which makes sense because I don't think there are that many sprint stages. So I would be looking to save here. Milan, Philipsen, Merlier. I think Merlier, honestly, I would actually say at the moment is looking the fastest of them all. So 10 credits for Merlier being a bit cheaper than the other two I really like, actually. So I think all those are okay price, but for their prices, I'm not sure how much whether they'll be worth it or not. The 8 credits, you got Binny, who's the same price as he was last year, when he absolutely just was probably one of the best value for money riders. Mayus is pretty good at 8 as well. He's got a good lead out train. Ackerman got a 900 points last year for the same price. So Ackerman's interesting, although obviously less sprints. Lund Andreasen, a bit more of a punchy rider. So it could be very versatile in that first week. So I do quite like him. On some of those punchy stages, I could still see him being quite competitive because he was looking good in the Tour of Norway. Arambarou I like as well for those punchy stages in that first week. Bauhaus I like. Berkmos is a sprinter. I mean, he was sprinting in Baloise, Belgium, to also makes sense. I guess the only problem with Arambarou is you got Coquard, so he won't be going for the flat sprint. So you're looking at a guy pretty limited to just punchy stages, but he's a good breakaway rider as well. Yeah, Bauhaus I quite like. 6. I mean, I'm like low barrier here. There's going to be 5 or 6 sprints, so if they average like 7th place, that's quite good value. Berkmos could be interesting. But there's also DeLee here. Who else have we got? Dainese, Fredheim, Demar. Gosh, there's a lot of them in here. Van Schold, Van Poppel, Marijn van den Berg possibly as well. Jake Stewart, Jean-Pierre. Jean-Pierre could be quite a good one too. He's very good in the Copenhagen sprint. You've got quite a lot of good 6 credit sprinters here. I think there's plenty to be going at. I like Andreasen. I like... maybe I'm just getting the bias off of last year, but Ackerman could be quite good. Bauhaus as well. Dainese. Demar, maybe. Jean-Pierre. There's lots of good choices here. So I expect Wout van Aert's going to be in here, right? Okay, he is. Okay, so he's 12. Van der Poel's 10, like I thought. Yeah, maybe Wout van Aert could be an interesting one. He won't be sprinting, but he's tempting. Van der Poel will be very electric in that first week. He could be worth it. Ganna, Gregoire, Nace, yeah, it's kind of understandable. They wouldn't really work as a 6 credit rider, but maybe Gregoire, maybe. Ganna, probably not. There's only the 1 flat TT. Thibaut Nace is going to need to do something pretty miraculous over all those punchy stages in his Grand Tour debut, nonetheless. Bit of a risky one, but it could be a cool one to go with. Abrahamson was the best value 6 credit rider in the unclassified rider category last year in the Tour after all those breakaways and the KOM jersey that he held for ages. Affini just for assist points and that 1 TT might be alright. Amarai is the recent French TT champ. Louis Barret I did expect to be here actually. I think that's a good pickup. I think George was probably in a hard spot where he couldn't realistically put him as a 8 credit guy. I thought maybe he might put him as a climber as 6 credits, but Barret is an interesting one. Very good in the Dauphiné. Baudin similarly was very good there too. Benoit usually gets in a breakaway or 2 in the race, and the assist points from Vingegaard. Buchmann, that's quite an interesting one in the unclassified. Magnus Cort is an unclassified rider. I expect a lot of people will pick him, but I don't think he'll be the sprinter for the team. That's the only problem I really have. Catania will do a good 1 TT. So will Kung. Haig, maybe. He hasn't done that much in Grand Tours recently, but it's certainly interesting enough. Anders Johannesson won Tour of Slovenia. Kung for the TT. Leknesund. Lutsenko, maybe, as an outside GC option. Narvaez just for the assist points on Poggi, pretty much, like another 300 whatever points there. And maybe he could have his own opportunity in some punchy stages, you just never know. Page, he could well be the sprinter for Intermarché, you know, he might be. Piffy, Paulus, actually. Paulus at 6 credits in unclassifieds. That's interesting. Maybe not more like a GC rider and breakaway rider. It's hard to tell, really. Schmid I like as well. I think he'll be very good in that opening week. It just depends whether he's chained to O'Connor or not, really. Ivan Romeo and Javier Romo, both interesting choices as well. Obviously, Ivan Romeo won a stage of a Dauphiné. Romo had some decent GC performances this year in Romandy, Tour Down Under. Segart for the 1TT, Sheffield for, again, the TT. But also for some breaks. Schoins, very interesting for breakaways. Tejada I like as well. Valgren. Van Zevenont is here? What? Right. Van Zevenont, I kind of thought he might be in a climber category, I suppose. Vellens, just for the assist points on Poggy. Fred Wright, very good in the Dauphiné, but I don't know how much freedom he'll get. Then the 4 credit riders, you've got Bernard. You have... I'm looking at like assist points here as well. Gosh, there's really... Sweeney actually was quite good on that final uphill TT in the Tour de Suisse, so maybe him. Wow, there's really not that much to be going at. There's no obvious assist point farming rider unless you're thinking of Roglic with Moscon or Rob Stannard maybe for Byron Victorious, who usually do okay in Team GC, I suppose. Yeah, it's kind of tricky actually. Julien Bernard possibly is one of the more climber orientated riders for Lidl Trek. Tricky. Youngles. Yeah, I don't know. It's a little bit slim pickings here, actually. Anyway, let's move on. I don't know. Shall I try and make a team? Poggy and Jonas? Do we try? Sprinter, let's go super. Let's just go cheap. Let's try to save some budget here. Let's try to save some budget in the climber category. You'll see a bit of a trend here. Oh, I would like to go Van der Poel, but I think it's just a bit risky. I think somebody like Bahé. How many points have I got? I got 26 left and 4 riders. Holy moly, this is going to be difficult, isn't it? Do you go Jonas? Do you go with Evenepoel? Do you go with Almeida even and save a little bit more? Do you then like Gal could be interesting. Carapaz for breakaways if he does what he did last year. Boitlago. I'm thinking looking at those punchy riders for that first week who can get some immediate wins for me pretty early on. For 6 credits. Honestly, I am very tempted to go really boring and just go with maybe Narvaez I like. I kind of like Lutsenko, actually, as a bit of a GC prospect. Paulus as well. Schmid, I think, is very interesting too for that early week. But it just depends whether he's going to be... If he's just helping O'Connor all the time, he's not going to get that many points. That's my problem. Let's just put Vellens in. Who else have we got? So I got 22 credits left. So realistically, the maximum I can do, if I went 6 credits here and went with Martin, I could go with a 16 credit rider. Okay, I've already got Almeida in there. Oh, you're close to getting Evenepoel in here. Wow, it's just a team of 6 credit riders. And then that. Okay, that's a bit. Roglic, Jorgensen. It's tricky. Melier, Van der Poel. Do I go Roglic? Do I? Or do I just go with a 4 credit rider and just go with Sweeney? Do I go with something like that? Roglic, Almeida, Evenepoel, like 3 guys in the top 5 of GC maybe again, and then just cheap out everywhere else and just hope for riders going breakaways and punchy stages? I don't know. Maybe. That's my kind of initial instinct, gut reaction of the VELOGAME 2025. Let me know what you are all thinking in the comment section down below. Obviously, like I mentioned, the star list isn't complete, so therefore new riders will be added in, and I'll come back and take another look at those. So be sure to come back over the coming week because I'll be doing more videos to analyse the rider prices and give you some advice on who you should be picking for your teams. But yes, let me know what you're thinking in the comment section down below. What kind of teams are you thinking of making? And all that is left to say is to stay safe out there, and I will see you in the next video. Salut!